This is KUGAN CASSIUS for Rifle TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're in Leeds here for the March We're going together final press conference.
Get myself out, you know, there's no point in training like the demon for months on end and sparring like a maniac and then doing nothing at the end of it. So this slot became available and I'm here now, so you know we're going to get this done against Arta Kalakakis or Kilukakis, whatever his name is, I don't know. Pretty solid contender, holds a win over Yuri Kalenga, the former WBA interim cruiserweight champion. Southpaw, tricky. So this will be the first Southpaw I've been in with since Stevenson, so you know I look forward to it and what it's going to bring.
When I interviewed Eddie Hearn in Liverpool, when you turned up to the Fielding and Smith press conference, I did ask him what's going on with you, and he said that you'll probably be fighting in Texas, and I said, how comes? He said, well, no one really wants to see Tony Petty fight a bum over 8 rounds in England. That's what Eddie Hearn said.
Okie doke. Well, I didn't know he said that, but at the end of the day, I'm
not suggesting who you're fighting as a bum either, I'm just saying what Eddie Hearn said.
Like I say, the guy's got a win over Yuri Kalenga, so it's a good win first and foremost. He's going to come to win, and secondly to that, I didn't see the point in going to Texas first and foremost and taking away concentration from Jimmy McDonald, who's going into the biggest fight of his life with Kameda. You know, the lad's on the verge of earning, you know, unbelievable money. He's getting great money, and I don't want to jeopardise that by going over there, because I like to prepare a certain way, I like to train a certain way and have everything done the way I want to do, because listen, I'm the one who gets in the ring and takes the punches. So I just didn't think it was fair for me to be going over to Texas and laying down floor plans for how I want to prepare and the things that I want to do, when ultimately Jamie McDonald was there, you know, in a world title fight, a big fight, and to be fair, it was all about him. So I just wanted to stay busy, stay active, and I'll do that Saturday night.
I suppose in hindsight, obviously Dave Caldwell, who trained you as well, you might have not got the maximum out of Dave Caldwell if he's focused on Jamie.
No, that's not fair to say, because Dave Caldwell is a fantastic professional. He's a brilliant coach, and more importantly than that, he's my friend.
I didn't mean it horribly.
No, I understand
I just meant if he's focused on Jamie McDonald, then...
Of course he is, and that's, like I said just before, KUGAN, if you listened up and paid attention, that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to go. I didn't want to take his attention away from Jamie in any way, shape or form, and lay it on me when he's got such a huge fight expected of him. Like I say, Dave is my friend, and we spoke about this at length before he left. We had a good chat, and it is what it is. I've got to stay busy, and ultimately in this game, you're only earning when you're fighting, and I need to fight, and most importantly, I need to earn. So it's as simple as that.
Okay. So obviously you was added recently to this bill, but have you spoke to Eddie Hearn about obviously the plan now for you about acquiring your world title shot?
We speak on a regular basis, you know, at least once or twice a week, and you know we're waiting on things to happen, things to take place, and we know the route that we want to go down, but like I say, we need certain things to happen, certain fights to happen. They seem to be happening now, so you know I'm pretty sure we'll have news soon enough. Ultimately, I just want to fight for the world title. I believe I can become world champion. There's no two ways about it. And once I become world champion, that's when the fun and games all starts. So, you know, I just need to get that big fight at this weight. I believe I've earned it. I've beat a former world champion and the other fella. I've beat pretty solid contenders in Valery Brudov. I've beat, you know, guys who are gatekeepers in your Dos Santoses. You know, last fight I fought Ivinka Bakarin, who's been in with heavyweights, and, you know, everybody raves on this Kudryashov, who's got 26 fights, 26 knockouts. Well, everyone knows the state I was in for the last fight. I was ill. I wasn't good. Kudryashov only stopped Bakarin in a round earlier than me. Had I have been fit and well, I'd have stopped Bakarin in about 2 rounds without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm never given the props that I deserve, in my opinion. So ultimately, like I said, I dealt with Bakarin, basically a heavyweight. Come fight night, he's a big guy. This time I'm fighting a Southpaw It's great preparation for where I'm looking at going. One was like a heavyweight, so you know you're looking at one who's like a solid guy. Then we're looking at a tricky Southpaw for this one. It's about staying busy. Ultimately, not every fight can be a big fight. You know, let's remember that I fought 13, 14 title fights, 14 title fights on the spin. 14 title fights, 14 12 round fights on the spin. I fought a 10 rounder last time, the first one I'd ever done. This will be, I think, the second 8 rounder of my career, or third. It's very rare that I'm not in a big fight or a title fight, so like I said, it's just about staying busy. I'd say ultimately the thing that put me out this year mainly was doing the movie, the January to March timing that it took to do is what set me back basically. And but that comes out towards the end of the year, and then I'm pretty sure it'll all be worth it. But as of right now, it's set me back a little bit in boxing terms of where I wanted to be after beating the other fella. So it is what it is, mate. It's not an ideal situation, but it's one that I'll deal with, and it's one that I'll come through, and I'll be fighting. You know, get this one out the way Saturday. I don't underestimate him. Like I say, this guy's got a great win over Yuri Kalenga. Artur's, whichever the name is, but like I say, listen, I don't take anyone lightly.
AK, I think his name is.
Yes. I'll just say Artur's, he's going to come to fight. Simple as that. He's beaten good guys before. Got a few knockouts on that record too. Got a few losses now as well, but like I say, it's someone I've got to deal with Saturday night and do his job.
Let me ask your opinion on a couple of fights. First of all, what do you think of Tommy Carpentry fighting Adonis Stevenson?
Insane, ludicrous, nuts, joke. All them comments really, an absolute joke. But you know, listen, it is what it is. When you're a champion like Stevenson is, and you're a kind of a celebrity fighter like he is, he's one of Heyman's big boys, and he can pick and choose who he wants. At the end of the day, he's made his mandatory defence when he fought me. He's probably due another mandatory soon. I think Isaac Chilemba has just became his mandatory again with the WBC after beating that Russian guy. So ultimately, you know, it is what it is, mate. He's an amazing fighter. He's the best light heavyweight in the world, still in my opinion. At the end of the day, everyone wants to see the Kovalev and Stevenson fight, and me as much wants to see that more than anyone. But ultimately, let's have it right. Adonis Stevenson is the best light heavyweight in the world. This is the man who cleaned out Chad Dawson in 1 round. Let's remember that Chad, the best wins of Sergei Kovalev's career is probably Bernard Hopkins and John Pascal. Would you have me say that? That's fair. That's a fair assumption. Yeah. Well, Chad Dawson has dealt with Bernard Hopkins, so you know, and was, in my opinion, on the way to beating John Pascal before what happened. So ultimately, you know, Kovalev's a great fighter, Stevenson's a great fighter, but for me, Stevenson can do it as he pleases. That knockout win over Chad Dawson just opened the floodgates. It really did to him, and it's the reason why he is where he is today. So don't like the fight what he's fighting now. I don't like the people he's picking to fight, the likes of Shukotsky. Now he's on to this fella. I remember this fella being in the corner against the other fella saying, "I'm tired after 2 rounds." Jesus Christ.
Do you think Stevenson would have beaten Carl Froch?
That's a hard fight, mate.
Because he was mandatory for his title at one point.
He was,
wasn't he?
yeah, but does Stevenson make super middleweight comfortably? Not a chance. I know he was killing himself to make super middleweight, so Carl Froch makes super middleweight very comfortably. So a lot of it depends on that for me, to be fair. But listen, he hits like a JCB truck. So if he hits you, he's going to hit you regardless of how tough you are. But listen, Carl's a great fighter. One thing he has shown over them years was that granite chin that we all know about. It would have been a great fight, I can say that much. It would have been a really good fight. At super middleweight, you know, I just think Carl's an animal at that weight. He really is tough, and I just don't think there's a man alive who could keep Carl Froch on the floor in a 12-round fight at super middleweight. So, you know, would he outwork Carl? No, he wouldn't. His best hope would be to stop Carl. And like I just said, I don't see any man stopping Carl at 12 stone. At 12 stone 7, it seems to me Adonis Stevenson's a bit of a different animal, like we're seeing at the moment.
What is your opinion on the other fella versus Fonfara, as you call him?
Nathan v. Fonfara is a good fight. It's a fight of two, neither are big punches, both with high work rates, good intensity to the way they work. It's I edge slightly towards Fonfara because he's a little bit of a maybe a tougher and might be in a mentally stable, better place. But then with Nathan's work rate and not being against the puncher, he shouldn't really be shy in throwing. So I base it 55-45 in favour of Fonfara. But you know, like I say, it's a close fight. It really is a close fight. Good luck to the lad. It's the best way of saying it. Good luck to him. It must be tough getting back down to light heavyweight, especially being such an amazing athlete at cruiserweight. So it must be hard to get back down. I couldn't do it. I mean, I don't. This week, doing weight and still losing a bit of weight, I was like, I don't even understand how I lost 2 more stone off what I am now. I really, really don't. So, all credit to him, you know, the great athlete rolls on, and good luck to him in America. Be a tough ass, big fight, but one thing he's got going for him, he beats him, it opens the door to him to big fights.
When's your film out?
Towards the end of the year. I'm thinking it may be now a premiere in October. I'm not sure, I'm not 100% on that. It'll definitely be out before the end of the year. Maybe a UK release towards November, December time. So that looks good.
Is Creed better than Southpaw?
I don't know, I haven't seen Creed yet. Listen, they're 2 very different movies. Very, very different movies. I mean, Southpaw I enjoyed the movie, very, very good movie. Jake Gyllenhaal was in some amazing shape, really good. But I don't know, the different movies. They're completely different movies. Like I say, for me it was a little bit far-fetched with the deaths and the untimely deaths in the movie, and then all of a sudden, you know, you've got a guy who's 42 and who's just learning to skip and just learning to roll under rope. So that's a little bit hard to take too. But listen, these movies aren't supposed to be realistic.
Really?
There's a reason they're called movies. It's called a film. It means it's not real life. So I always remember Sly telling me, Tone, the amount of people who say to me, you know, that Rocky, it's a load of bullshit. And he says, it's supposed to be. It's a movie. It's not real life. In real life, Ivan Drago would have stopped Rocky Balboa in 25 seconds. So it's, you know, it's like I say, it's not real life. The movies, they're there to entertain people. And does Southpaw entertain me? Yes, it did massively. Did I think Jake Gyllenhaal was very good? I thought he was outstanding. So, you know, I thought it was very good. Do I think Creed will be outstanding? Yes, I do. I think Creed will be a fantastic movie. I think the storyline, the involvement, the whole script, the way it's done, it will be a fantastic film, I predict, when it comes out. But ultimately, that's for my peers to judge, not for me. So time will tell. Time will tell if I am a dud or I am a live character.
50 Cent reminded me of Hearn. He did. You know, like that slippery, shady kind of...
So you mean like he comes with the champion and he leaves with the champion kind of guy? Is that what you're saying, KUGAN?
Well, I'm not saying anything, it just reminded me of Hearn. Just reminded me of
So
Hearn.
let's just rephrase that, KUGAN. Let's not be cutting any corners out or cutting this tape here.
Go on then.
So your thing here was Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson reminds you of Eddie Hearn. That's what you've just said, right? So now let's go to Curtis. 50 Cent Jackson in the Southpaw movie is the manager and promoter of Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal then loses his title, and 50 Cent leaves with the new champion and takes over, and in all that time is conspiring against Jake Gyllenhaal. Do you believe that is Eddie Hearn? Because you've just told me that's Eddie Hearn.
Tony Bellew, thank you very much for talking to Full TV.
Answer the question, KUGAN.
It just reminded me of Eddie Hearn, certain things that...
But you've just said that he
what was his name in
against
it?
fighters.
What was his name in it?
Who?
What was 50 Cent's name in the film?
It makes no odds what his name was in
I'm
the
just
film,
trying to
because
think.
we know him as 50 Cent. Now, don't change the subject, please, KUGAN.
It just reminded me of him, certain
he
aspects.
He was a manager and promoter.
Yeah.
Now, number one, Eddie doesn't manage fighters.
I didn't say he did.
But you said he reminded you of 50
He did remind me, but Eddie Hearn's not black either.
So you can't make a likeness to a guy and then completely discredit it along the way.
It's just certain
He either
aspects.
is like him or he isn't.
Certain aspects of that character
no.
he played
You're either like
reminded
someone
me
or you're not.
of Eddie Hearn. That's all I'm
But
going
what
to say.
aspects reminded
Just
you of
certain
Eddie?
aspects
Which
of it.
ones? Explain.
Just certain aspects. I'm not going to go into it.
You can't go into it. Why can't you go into it?
No, I said I don't want to go into it.
Oh, you don't want to?
No.
Why wouldn't you not want to go into it?
I just said certain aspects. Let's just leave it there.
What aspects do you characterise Eddie with 50 Cent with? It's obviously he's not black.
No, he's not black.
He doesn't dress like 50.
No.
He doesn't talk like 50. So what you're saying is he has the actions of 50 in that movie. Because that is the only way you can say he has a likeness to him.
Yeah.
You're not being very thorough with your descriptions.
I just said he reminded me of him. That's it.
In what way, Coogan? How?
Just reminded me of certain things that happened in the film.
Like what? Well, I've just explained to you what happened in the film.
Well, you said it yourself, so you know.
Yeah, so I've explained what happened in the film. I didn't say that he has no likeness to him. I just said that in the movie he does this, this, and this. Now, Coogan, you tell me how he has.
Where are you hoping this is going to go?
I'm just trying.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You told me.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You said it. I didn't say it. I am just asking you to be a little bit more descriptive with your answers.
But I just made an off-key comment.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Didn't. You said he has very much a likeness to 50 Cent in the
Say
movie.
that. I said he reminded me of him. That's all I said.
So, yeah, but then I asked you in what way. It doesn't look like him. He doesn't dress like him. He doesn't act like him. So tell me in what way. The only thing he can do is his, like I said, does his actions take place
You
like
tell me.
I don't know. You tell me.
You tell me.
You're a lot closer to him than me.
I don't think so. I don't speak to him twice a week.
You have a lot of car trips together, a lot of time spent
That don't
together.
mean anything.
It means a lot.
You're a cash cow for him.
Some would say that. I would prefer to say I am someone we both flourish through each other.
All right.
Cash cow is a little bit strong. I mean,
No,
Carl
no.
Fletcher's cash cow. Come on, let's have it right. Carl was milking the baby. You know what I'm saying? That was bringing home the whole roost. So we flourish through each other. I would say that was the best way to explain me and Eddie.
Okay. We can leave it there anyway.
Can we?
But Southpaw, great film.
I did enjoy
And
it.
so is Straight Outta Compton.
Going to see that tomorrow night.
You're going to be bitterly disappointed.
Don't say that. 'Cause, well, you know what? You are the only person who has said that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you used to listen to NWA? I'm assuming
Yes.
you did.
Of course.
You'll see what I mean.
My brother brought that home when we was kids. Still can't believe them first few words when you heard it on a sound through a tape.
What words?
You know what words? So.
What? Fuck the police. fuck the police. Listen, all I'm going to say is before you watch it,
yeah,
it's good, but
it's disappointing.
I expected a little something
Little bit
else, a little bit more.
I think it's tough to portray such a hard, close to the truth story line like they must have been through. Listen, there'll be so much stuff that they can't put in that film that is missing. That is the truth. You know, as much as they're trying to tell the truth through their eyes and their story, there's going to be so much stuff that you miss out. Let me tell you, it's like making a story on Mike Tyson. Do you really believe all the stuff that's happening in Mike Tyson's life would make a movie cinema? Not a chance.
No.
I've read books on many different people.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories.
So, you know, some things you've just got to be kept for that moment and kept for that person's memory. You made a story on my life or your life. I'm sure there'd be some fantastically nice moments in there, but ultimately you can't have every moment through your life put on a camera. There's some things that everybody has done something in their life that they're ashamed of, and that it isn't good. Everyone, if you've lived a normal life.
Are you talking about that first Chilemba fight?
I have had moments like that, you know, and I would have liked to have refunded everyone in the arena that night, but listen, that's just, you win some, you lose some, you draw some.
You draw some.
But ultimately I beat him up good and proper in the rematch, so
that's what matters.
Yes, I beat him. Let's see, I'd like to see who goes on and beats him in the future. Kid can't half fight, very good fighter, so, okie doke.
Alright, Tony Bellew, thanks for talking to IFL TV.
Thank you for having me, Coogan, and don't be cutting any of this video, Coogan.
Going in raw.
Just put it in raw.
Going in raw.
It is what it is. Just don't be afraid to tell your paymaster.
Right there.
I'll tell him.
I'll tell him myself.
I'll tell him.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, KUGAN.
God bless.
Keep watching iFilm London, people.